Drop it. You see, you're at the crossroad.
Labour massive! Labour massive! Labour massive! Number 3 massive! Nice to see you all the way down in constituency number 5. As we get on our way, before we get into the meat of things, we're going to ask if Ronnie Rascal can play the national anthem. Or do we have Corencia Hodge? Is Corencia nearby? Rascal, cue the national anthem while we wait 1 minute for Corencia. National anthem. Comrades, we're going to welcome on stage to open with prayer Mr. Glenville Mills.
God is good. I'm all the time. Labor is good. And all the time. Let us pray. A wonderful Savior is Jesus, my Lord. He taketh my burdens away. He holdeth me up, and I shall not be moved. He giveth me strength as my day. The word of God said in St. John's Gospel, chapter 14, he said, let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in God, believe also in me, because in my Father's house are many mansions. One hymn writer said, it's not an easy road. We are traveling to heaven, and many are the thorns on the way. Heavenly Father, we bring this great nation before you. But most important, Lord, we bring this great party before you. God, we pray for a leader, one who have wisdom. We pray for strength where strength is needed. God, we pray you'll comfort him. God, we pray you'll sustain him and you'll keep him in greener pasture. But God, most important, I pray, oh God, for Dr. Norgen Wilson. I pray, oh God, that you'll give him that strength, that energy to go through. No wonder, Lord, the Apostle Paul said, I am not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God unto salvation. I pray you'll help us to be courageous. I pray you'll help us to be strong in these last and trying times. Help us, oh God, to conquer. Because in time like this, God, we need the victory. We could really say, God, look where you brought us from. a mighty, mighty, mighty long way. God, when we look back, the past 2 years, it was not easy. But we could say your grace and your mercy brought us through. And truly tonight, we are living this moment because of you. God, tonight I want to conclude this meeting by saying, to conclude this prayer, Lord, by saying, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' precious blood and his righteousness. We dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. God, have your way. Give us receptive heart and let this meeting go down with a difference tonight in Jesus' precious name.
Amen. Comrades, Labour Massive, you ready? You ready? Number 5 ready? Ready to elect Norgen Wilson as your next representative? I feel you ready. Sandy Point feel ready. Newton Ground feel ready. Ready, ready, ready. Comrades, there are some people who are trembling in their boots. There are some people who want to run away from constituency number 5 because they say, with the fear boundaries, I can't win. I can't win with no fear boundaries. I can't win. So I want to run somewhere else where I think I could win. But they can't stop it. They cannot stop Labour. Labour is unstoppable. No matter what they try, no matter the deceiving games that they play, they cannot stop Labour. Because Labour is good. And all the time. Labour is good. And all the time. Oh, you look good, boy. Me am. St. Kitts sexy. Labour sexy. Sandy Point sexy. Me am. Comrades, there are people in this country who think or forget, rather, that we have 98-point-something% literacy rate. But they still think that they can fool the masses of the people, willing to say anything in the name of political power, claiming victories where they have none, fooling the people. But you cannot fool all the people all the time. You can't fool Labour people none of the time. And so they're going around saying that they have a victory in the court. What victory? All the court has said is, in the interest of fairness, let me hear the appeal. Let us hear the appeal. But while we hear the appeal, take it easy. Wait a little bit. That's all. Nothing has been reversed. Nothing has been ordered other than wait a moment, let us hear the appeal. So as of today, there are only one set of boundaries in this country. You know what those boundaries look like? You know what those boundaries look like? With Sandy Point and Newton Ground as one? With Boys Point and West Farm with number 4? With Keyon in number 7? With Tabernacle in number 6? Those are the only boundaries that exist right now. And the court has simply said, let me hear what these people have to say. We will hear them on February 9th, and then we will make a ruling. Because they want to give them a fair hearing. But in the meantime, and between time, Labour is on the road. And we on the road to stay. And nobody could take us off the road. Nobody can take us off the road. Because for the last 5 years in this government, Labour has been working tirelessly to ensure that we become number one. Number one. Number one across the whole Caribbean region. And so we say, we ready, and then already, but if you want a little time, take your time, but we ready. We ready. We ready for the road. And that is why, comrades, up in number 8, the case is very straight. Up in number 8, the case is very straight. And they're ready. They're ready. They don't even know if they're going to have a candidate against us in the next general election sometime very soon. Because we're ready. And I want to bring to you, comrades of constituency number 5, the springtime man, the caring doctor, Dr. Terrence Drew.
Labour Massive, how you feeling tonight? Sandy Point, you ready? You ready? You ready? Well, let me hear you, Labour Massive. Man, I feel good tonight to be in Sandy Point. My throat is feeling a little better tonight. It's getting back to where it's supposed to be. I saw something happening here in Sandy Point that I never saw before. I was passing in Sandy Point last night on my way to St. Paul's. And as I passed Mount Idle, I seen a lot of red. I said, something has to be happening in Sandy Point. As I passed, I said, Dr. Drew, we got it down here in Sandy Point. We took over Mount Idle. They can't win again. They're dead here in Sandy Point. Sandy Point, you looking good. And so, I felt good, because I know all along that Norgen can win Sandy Point with or without boundaries. And now the boundaries have changed. We know even more sure that Norgen is going to take constituency number 5. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. For the last 9 years, since Sean came here as your representative, collected money every month, add up all the money that he has made. Tell me one thing that he has brought to Sandy Point. Tell me one thing he has brought to Sandy Point. Well, Sandy Point people are here stupid. The Sandy Point people are not bright people. Well, if 9 years you ain't getting nothing, how you gonna try the man again? It's time to move Sean and put a man who has a plan down here in Sandy Point. You can't compare Sean to Norgen. What is Sean plan for Sandy Point? What is Sean plan for Sandy Point? But what is Norgen plan for Sandy Point? Destination Sandy Point. Big ideas coming from the Labour man. You must support Norgen. Recently, a big art fair or festival was held here right here in Sandy Point by Norgen Wilson. Nothing like that in the rest of St. Kitts. Over $30,000 to $40,000 made for the artists here in Sandy Point. That's a man with big ideas. That's a man who loves Sandy Point. So I'm saying to Sandy Point tonight that whether you're PAM or whether you're Labour, what you have to vote for is the man with the idea. You have to vote for the man with the plan. The man who will take you forward. And that person is Dr. Norgen Wilson. Put your hands together for him. Look at Pam. Is there a party named Pam? Pam is dead. Pam was taken over by an ex-Labour man. A man who we throw to a party, come in and take over Pam. Sean used to be the leader of Pam. And now they formed the concoction. Sean is a deputy of a deputy. That means that Sean is nothing anymore when it comes to politics. He's not leadership material. Pam ain't want him. The concoction ain't want him. Because he has not proven that he has skills of leadership. This is not anything personal. But how can you be the leader of a party that had over 40% of the people here in St. Kitts-Nevis, and you have been reduced now just to be the deputy of a deputy in a concoction? And that is why the people are saying that they're going to vote Wilson in this upcoming general elections. Look at what the concoction has been offering. What have they been offering to you, the people of St. Kitts? One time they said that they can win and they want elections. No. No elections coming. They want the elections. They're going around the country bawling, going court, injunction, and they ain't getting nowhere. Because come the next general elections, which will be held very soon, Labour is going to win all 8 seats in St. Kitts, and nobody can stop that. And you know what they're running from? You know what they're running from? They're running from fear boundaries. You remember a time when Sandy Point used to be part of constituency joined with Newton Ground? You remember that time? And they couldn't win the seat? And so they went in, and in one day, they changed the boundaries so that Sandy Point could become a constituency by itself. So what they did is that they create unfairness. Because when there's fairness in the land, Labour will win all 8 seats, for nothing can stop Labour. And that is what they're running from. But they can't stop it. Because the only boundaries that exist here in St. Kitts-Nevis are the boundaries that were passed recently. No other boundaries exist. So when they come talking about old boundaries, you ask them, what old boundaries you talking about? The Governor General done sign long time. I done went court. The judge said, but I signed the thing 7:38. The Parliament done close off since 6:38. So I bring in here before me injunction, discharge, boundary, proclamation in place. And they can't stop that. And that is why I say in this coming general elections, there are only one set of boundaries, and those boundaries are the fear boundaries, and they're afraid the fear boundaries. And that is why Labour is going to win. But let's look at what has been happening in this country. Labour is bringing development in this country, especially for the young people. The young people can advance here in this country. Let me tell you something what's happening recently. Recently, in constituency number 2, I was told that some young people were canvassing. And General Powell was going around with 2 elder people. Nothing wrong with elder people. But they said when the elder people realized Marcella got older people, middle-aged people, and a lot of young people. And one of the elder Pam people step aside and say, Lord, they got to find some young people to come with us. The young people ain't studying them. They ain't got a plan for the young people. The concoction is out of style, and Labour is in style, and that is why they can't win the next general elections. And so they're trying all kind of things to attract young people. But the young people are very smart people in this country. The young people know who got the plan for them. The young people know who got a future for them. The young people know who really love them. The young people know who really care about them. Why is it I know that the young people know this? Look at their concoction. How much young people in the concoction? How many young people represent in their PAM party here in St. Kitts-Nevis? Hardly any. Hardly any young people there. If they say they care about young people, the young people should be on the platform. But look at this Labour. We could start a meeting with the whole springtime crew. Even if Asim didn't show up, this meeting could go on. Because young people in Labour and on this Labour team, we have power. And that is why we're going to win the next general elections. Tell them that. And so young people of Sandy Point, forget the past. forget Sean, forget Pam. Pam dead. And this is the time for you to elect a young man in the person of Norgen Wilson for the future. But I like how Labour do it, you know. I like how Labour don't discriminate against anybody, you know. I love how Labour do it, you know. When they were in power, and Sandy Point, and St. Paul's didn't support them. And Newground didn't support them. And Sadlers didn't support them. And Parsons didn't support them. You know what they do? They refuse to carry the Island Main Road down there. They refuse. Discriminating against people. They refuse to give the children in school food to eat. What kind of politics these people practice? But Labour ain't believe in that type of practice. Labour ain't believe in that type of politics. But look at what happened. Now Labour is in power. For example, Keyon, they say, never voted Labour in the majority. And Labour and Cedric never neglected Keyon. Because this government believes in representing everybody. We don't believe in victimization. That is why Labour is going to win the next general elections. Look at Sandy Point. For the last 2 elections, Sandy Point has elected a Pam man. A weakened Pam man. Because Timothy Harris weakened him. And today, Norgen Wilson can bring destination Sandy Point to Sandy Point people to develop Sandy Point, even though Labour is not in power in constituency number 5. Labour is good for all the people of this country. Sam Kanda said it best. Sam Kanda said it best. That Labour is not only good for Labour people, Labour is also good for Pam people. Because under Pam, a lot of Pam people don't get a thing from Pam. I can tell you about St. Peter's, for example. I tell the Pam people in St. Peter's all the time, how much of you and your kids and children went to study under Pam? Hardly any. They don't look after their own people. And how much of the Pam people went to study under Labour? More Pam people got land under Labour than they got under Pam. More Pam people got bigger position under Labour than they got under Pam. And that is why Labour is not only good for Labour people, Labour is good for Pam people too, and all the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. And that is why Labour is going to win the next general election. But look at our great constituency. Great constituency of constituency number 8. Labour is working very hard in constituency number 8. Where are the people from number 8? Let me hear the people from number 8. Big up RHS over here in Sandy Point. Support Norgen and Labour here in Sandy Point. Big things going on in number 8. You know, everything we do in number 8, the sleeping hammy want to say that he did it. Can you imagine that? A man who has not paid any attention to the constituency over the last 5 years. Anything that is done, he want to claim credit for it. For example, we paved the road from Stapleton to Hodges. And guess what? He want to say he do it. Just tell the man that's Dr. Joe and Labour who working here in Stapleton. We refurbished the bat up in Stapleton. He want to take credit for that too. Man, while he sleep, Labour is working overtime. Right now we're going to Upper Monkey Hill and we're beautifying Upper Monkey Hill. The man ain't got no idea, no plans for Upper Monkey Hill, but going in there to look vote and think he got 1 or 2 votes in there. But he ain't got surprise this election. We fix up the ball field in Paris Village, and the man want to take credit for that. The man is not doing anything. These are things Labour doing. We fix up the school, the primary school, the community center. That is what Labour has been doing in constituency number 8. But we ain't stopping there, you know. Because I don't want the people up there to vote for what Labour has done. But you're going to vote for what Labour will do in constituency number 8. Because we're going to convert St. Peter's into the great state of St. Peter's, never to be the same again. And so you can see us start doing work there. All in Connery. Lot of work being done in Connery. They've gone over Connery. Oh, Dr. Drew and Labour only doing this and doing that. But that's what politics is about. Helping the people. That is why we fix up the field over there. We fix up the roads over there. We make sure they got proper greenhouses, make sure they have proper pigsties, make sure the farmers get help, the fishers get help, scholarships available. That's Labour working overtime. And in Keys, look at what we're doing in Keys. Fix up the community center. We have gone to fix up the bus stop. We have gone to fence the football field because, as I said, that keys will not be left behind because the people there have supported Labour and Labour appreciate it. Put your hands together for the progress that's taking place in constituency number 8. Big things are going on. And as I wrap up tonight, I want the people of constituency number 8 to know this. Somebody came to somebody in my campaign the other day. And they said, Dr. Drew, they tell the person, I'm a PAM, and I live somewhere in the country, I'm a PAM, but I can tell the truth, Dr. Drew working overtime for constituency number 8. And the person came to me and said, Dr. Drew, if they could recognize that you are doing good things for number 8, then I, number 8, got to recognize that you're doing good things in number 8. And so that person said, Dr. Drew, come next elections. I don't care what my mother got to say. I'm voting for you all the way because you're best man for constituency number 8. And we're going to win it up there. So I tell the men I'm ready. And I'm going to tell him again. Boundaries are no boundaries. It's licks. He getting in constituency number 8. Nobody can stop it. And so Labour people, I want you to stay strong. They're trying to use the court to frustrate us. But do not become frustrated. Only when you're winning, they want to go to court because they want a court-appointed government. But we know in this country that everything was done correctly to change the boundaries, and the court so far has agreed with the steps Labour have made. And therefore, just hold on. Don't become disheartened. Keep your spirits up. Because come next general elections, Labour going to win 8 seats, and for the next 15, 20 years, we ain't going to hear nothing about PAM or the concoction. So I want to encourage you, people of Sandy Point. Don't vote just because you want to vote. Think about the man with the plan. Think about destination Sandy Point. Think about big ideas. Think about the person who wants to work for you. And if you do that, you'll elect Dr. Norgen Wilson. And so I want you tonight, as I finally leave you, to stay strong with Labour. Labour people, I want you to vote for the hand. Vote for the hand come election day because they can't stop us. They could try all kinds of things in the court. Fairness must reign and Labour will win. Thank you and good night.
Comrades, put your hands together for Dr. Drew. Put your hands together for Dr. Drew. I am so proud to be a part of this Labour slate. You have experience, you have youth, you have men, you have women, you have vision, you have ideas, you have experience, you have leadership. Everything the country needs right now. Put your hands together for the best slate, the best team, the Labour team. And they can't stop us. They're trying to say that there is nothing stopping the supervisor of elections from holding elections on the old boundaries. Please tell them ain't got no more old boundaries. The only thing the governor has said in his writ for the election is that the election is to be held on the new boundaries. So don't let them fool you. That is what they are all about. Deception. And they will go to every extent to deceive you, the people. And we must not stand for that. I want to let the general public know, those of you listening on your way down here, that the meeting was originally scheduled for Mount Idle, but it's now down on Downing Street, which is just coming down the road from Mount Idle. Take just down the V, where the V cuts in Sandy Point. And we're looking good down here. We're looking ready down here. I like to see this crowd down here. Everywhere that Labour go, people follow. Everywhere that Labour go, young people follow. Everywhere that Labour go, elders follow. Because Labour is for now, Labour is for tomorrow, and Labour is for the future. We have the plans that will move this country forward. We have the vision of being number one. We have the vision of being the icon of the Caribbean. We have the vision of being the first sustainable island state. We have the vision of ensuring that 25% of our population has education degrees of first college degrees by 2025. We have the vision because Labour is about now. Labour is about tomorrow. Labour is about the future. And coming from number 8, going into the new springtime candidate in number 7, who will teach the traitor a lesson that treachery must never be rewarded. Ungratefulness must never be rewarded. And so over in number 7, the man who will be the next representative in the House of Parliament representing the people of Keyon, right down to Mansion, will be Dr. Vance Gilbert. Welcome him to the podium.
Sandy Point! Are you a Labour friend? Put your hand up in the air! Comrades of Labour! You ready for Labour? You ready for Labour? You sure you ready for Labour? Make some noise if you're ready. Let me hear you make some noise. They want to hear you over there. Let them hear you over there. Let Sean hear you behind here. And all the PAM people who going to cross over after tonight, let them hear you in Sandy Point. Make some noise for Labour. All the PAM people saying they're crossing over. Nobody with the lights. You don't need the lights to hear me. I look good. Just imagine you see me. All the PAM people saying they're crossing over. Just yesterday, I was canvassing in Keyon. And I met a young lady, 20 years old. She said, Dr. Gilbert, I want to hear your plans and your vision for our new constituency of constituency number 7. The new constituency of number 7 that runs from Mansion right up to Keyon includes all of the 10 villages in between. And I told her my plans. I told her my vision for Keyon. I told her how I believe that Keyon needs to function as it was supposed to function as a proper town and have all the necessary things that a town should have. I told her my vision of transforming the landscape of constituency number 7, where we have our own commercial complex, where everybody don't have to go to town to look work, to go to the bank, to get business. They can do it right in their own area. And I told them many more of what I plan to do for the people of constituency number 7. I told them my vision for the young people, where they must continue to receive opportunities. Opportunities in education, opportunities for housing, opportunities for entrepreneurship, opportunities in agriculture. And she said to me, she said, Dr. Gilbert, I like your plan. But she said, Dr. Gilbert, there is something that bothers me as a first-time young voter. She said, I come from a house where most of my family, at least some of my family, they have voted for PAM, and some have voted for Labour. But she said to me, Dr. Gilbert, I have been branded because my family might have supported PAM. She said to me, as many young persons in Keyon have said to me, she said, look, I am a young person. I can think for myself. I can read. He said, I am one of the most dangerous persons on the face of the earth. I am a black young woman, and I have a library card. I can read and understand. And so she said, not because my parents support PAM, mean I gonna follow PAM. Because she said, when I think about it, when I look at them, what do they have to show for all the years they're following PAM? What do they have to show for all the years they're following PAM? She said, when I look around Keyon, everything that has happened in Keyon has been because of Labour. She said, even PAM people in Keyon and all over this country has progressed because of Labour. She said, Labour don't watch no face. Labour see people first. Labour ain't about no one-day thing. Labour is 365 days a year, 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, 60 seconds in a minute. Everything you could think about, Labour is for all time. And she said to me, or she asked me, a very fundamental question. She said, Dr. Gilbert, beyond the policies, what is it that I can look to a politician for? I said, what do you mean? She said, what is it as a young person, can look to a politician for? And I thought for a second, because I wasn't sure what she was talking about. And I said to her, I said, look, I am a medical doctor. And I am a doctor all hours of the day. Me and a doctor from 8 to 4. I'm a doctor 24 hours in the day. When people knock on my door at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't run them away because I'm sleepy. I wake up and I go to them. When I come home at midnight tonight, when I reach home at midnight tonight, they will be waiting for me because they're waiting for me all day. I don't want to run them. I deal with them still. I say a politician is just like a doctor with even a greater responsibility. A politician is your friend. A politician can guide you. A politician can counsel you. And she said to me, Dr. Gilbert, that is exactly the answer I wanted to hear. Because when some of them get in, after the election's done, they ain't studying you anymore. She told me about Jean Hamilton. She said she see him come around and knock on her parents' door during the time of election, ask for a vote, and after election done, he passing everybody with a glass wine up. I don't see myself. Same thing the young people up in Upper Keyon told me. And that's the same thing the young people of the entire constituency is saying about Timothy Harris. They're saying after elections, you don't see them anymore. That's why the young men of Philip says, they came to me. They sought me out. They came to my house, knocked on my door, and waited till I come and they say, Doc, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to vote again. Because too much broken promises. Last election, we rally up and down for Timothy Harris. Do all kind of things for this man. He make us a bunch of load of promises. And after election done, we can't find him man again. And make it worse. Make it worse. The man is a switch. The man is a switch. The man is a traitor. All these years he tell us how PAM's so bad. And now he's the leader of PAM. I want to tell us Labour bad. Imagine that. Want to tell us Labour is the worst thing in the world. After 18 years of being in office with Labour, everything he have is because of Labour. Everything his family got is because of Labour. I now want to tell Howie that Labour is the worst. He said, Doc, let me tell you something. Me a real man, that's what the young man tell me. He said, me a real man. I mean, I vote because nobody care for me. Nobody care for us. I me tell them, don't worry, brother. Don't worry, brethren. I care. Dr. Vance Gilbert care. That is why I'm here. I care for you. And that is why I'm here. And since then, I've started working with those young men. And they have been rallying with Labour, locking down all the other young men. And that movement has spread across the entire constituency. So now Timothy Harris running behind trying to bribe the young men with trans. But they're taking the same chance and coming to my office to work for me. Idiot! That is what Timothy Harris has become. My father listening, he tell me I mustn't call nobody an idiot. But Timothy Harris has become the greatest traitor, the greatest betrayer of anybody else in history. Even to the level of Judas Iscariot who betrayed Jesus. That is the level of betrayal. But when I hear the things this man is saying, and the things he would have said before, that Labour is the worst thing now, when we know as a fact that Labour is the best thing for this country. We know Labour must win. Because it don't matter what they say about boundaries. Only one set of boundaries we got. And that's the new boundaries. One set of boundaries we got. So if they ain't like it, tell them bump it. If they ain't like it, tell them bump it. Rascal, play the clip there. Let the people hear.
The elections will be called soon. And one party can win the election. The party that will win will be the Labour Party. Only Labour can win in this country because only Labour has the majority of people on its side. And we're going to knock them back.
Well, tell Timothy Harris, Labour is still here. And Labour is still the majority. And only Labour can win in this country. And we're going to bang him bad. We're going to bang him bad. Dr. Vance Gilbert going to wash out the tail. Me not jump up on the back. I'm going to wash out the tail. He wants a cleansing. And that injunction, we're going to get an injunction, an injection. A doctor will be. We're going to get an injunction, an injection. And we're going to fix this nonsense once and for all. So Labour massive! Labour massive! Labour massive! Are you ready to stand up for Labour? Are you ready to show them what Labour is about? Well, make some noise, Labour massive. Rascal, play some music now. And so, comrades, tonight we are here in Sandy Point, where the people from number 5, where the people from the new number 5, including Newton Ground, make some noise, number 5. That's it. Because number 5 must take it home. Number 5 must take it home. Because you know why? You got a real man in in number 5. We ain't want no more wishy-washy man. We ain't want no more wishy-washy man. Some of them who ain't know where they be. They're over here and they're over there. Park up in a dark alley where you don't see the trans because you know the color be. You don't see them all kind of hours of the night. You want a real man. A man with ideas. A man who was brought to the people of Sandy Point. Destination Sandy Point. Give it up for Destination Sandy Point. When Norgen came to me and told me about the idea of Destination Sandy Point, boy, that blew my mind away. Absolutely blew my mind away. Best thing that could happen in St. Kitts in a long while. Destination Sandy Point. And so I want the people of Sandy Point to hold on to Norgen. The people of Newton Ground, hold on to Norgen. I know Norgen well. Me and he went to university together. We do all kind of things together. I know him well. I know he good ways. I won't tell you about the other ways. He's my friend, he be. He better ways, he said. But I know him well. And I know his heart. And he loves people. He has a big heart. And he means well for the people of Sandy Point. I can tell you something about him now. Because somebody ain't know him like I know him. Norgen is a no-nonsense man. He's a no-nonsense man. But he's a no-nonsense man because he wants the best for his people. And so when he stand up and he pick up his chest and he go on like how he go on sometimes, it's because he wants the best for you. And he wants the people of Sandy Point to fall in line and understand that nothing happening in Sandy Point outside of Norgen Wilson. What has Sean done for you for 10 years of representation? What has he done for you except Norgen, what you say here? Norgen, what you say here, though? What you say here, though? What you say here, though? Eh? Yeah, the kind of thing. Nothing else happening in Sandy Point. Only one thing they say he good for. One thing they say he good for. Yeah. But you have seen in Sandy Point, housing project started under Norgen Wilson. Not yet a minister. Right down there in High Point. One of the best views in the world. Give it up for your representative, Norgen Wilson. Norgen has ensured that Sandy Point has the Paxton Medical Center, a place where I also love because I worked there a number of years. He has ensured that the people of Sandy Point has this wonderful place to take care of your healthcare needs. He has ensured that the farmers have not been left out. You have gotten your land. You have gotten assistance from the agricultural department, preparing your land, equipment, fertilizer, pig food, and look at your market. Look at your market in Sandy Point. Norgen Wilson right now is working to ensure your market is in tip-top shape. I wish the representative from number 7 had a vision like Norgen had. And that is why I am going to take Norgen idea, make care for you vex, Brandon, I care for you vex. I'm going to take your idea. And I'm going to take the concept of Destination Sandy Point to constituency number 7. It's a damn good idea. Give it up for Destination Sandy Point. And so, comrades, I want the Labour people to understand that this party is the party that is going to stay in power for a long, long, long time to come. Because Dr. Ju told you, look at the platform. Young people, you think I could go against Labour? You think you could go against Labour? It's because of Labour we're here. And everything we have is because of the policies of Labour. Imagine the people who don't care about us. Imagine the people who only care about their own self. And imagine a party that cares so much about their own self that they're willing to sacrifice every philosophy they have and let their enemy become their leader. Pan people of Sandy Point, you have been betrayed by your party and your leader. Your leader has shown that he's the weakest leader in the history of politics. Weakest leader in the history of politics. And that is why all the young men in Sandy Point are now saying they have to follow Norgen Wilson. Because they don't want a weak man to lead them. Norgen is a strong man. He's a soldier. He's a doctor. And he's a caring man, a man of the people. And so, comrades, I say to you, have no fear. Have no fear. No matter what they say out there. Old people say, who laugh last, laugh best. Who laugh last, laugh best. So have no fear, comrades. Trust in your party leadership. We have weathered many storms. And this is only one of them. This is going to blow off. And at the end of it, Labour will stand. And you know why? Because Labour is founded on the principle for the good that we can do. For the good that we can do. Not just for one set of people, but for all the people. And so, comrades, I urge you, people of Sandy Point, people of Newton Ground, rally with Dr. Norgen Wilson. Rally with Labour. Soldiers of Labour, fall in and find your class. This is the battleground. This is the time for victory. Thank you. God bless you and good night.
Me and my neighbor. Rascal, where you stop for, man? Me and my neighbor. Show me. I want to hear you. Let me hear you. Can't hear you. Somebody say. Let me hear you. Me and my neighbor voting for Labour. Labour massive. Put your hands together for Dr. Vance Gilbert, the next representative of constituency number 7, going from Keyon all the way over to Mansion. And they can't stop it. Can't stop it at all. Sending a note out to young Prince, get yourselves ready to come on stage. Comrades, in number 3, we have someone who is about to retire from politics. In number 3, we have someone who is about to retire from politics. You know who it is? You know who it is? Mr. Pam Kondo. And the other day, I went to speak to a lady. And she said that, you know, Congress, you're a nice boy, and so and blah, 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 etc. But I'm going to support Mr. Pam Kondo. And I asked her, since Mr. Pam Kondo has left Labour, all I am asking you to do is name one thing that he has done for the village. Forget when he was in power, because he said his hands was tied. So now that his hands are untied, name one thing, just anything at all, what he has done for the village. Up to now, she can't find one thing. I asked her, okay, but what you hear that I do for the village? And she started to rattle them off. Well, I hear you do the thing down Boyd's. I hear you pave the road there, that's good. I hear you doing some scholarships, but you know, he used to kind of help with some people. I hear you paving the roads up Buckley's. She acknowledged that Congress is the man for number 3. But because of whatever, because I know she mother and, you know, she mother real good with some men, we ain't gonna talk about the abattoir, right? And so we know why she's saying that. But I still say to my people, despite who say they're supporting who, we go into every door. We knocking on every door. And we asking everyone, whether they're wearing yellow, blue, white, red, green, whatever, to cross over and to support the labor movement. To cross over and support the Labour Party. Because the evidence is clear that we have been working for the people. The evidence is clear that we are responsible for making St. Kitts-Nevis #1. Because labor is good. And all the time. Labor is good. And all the time. And I'm going to bring a young man now on stage to do a song going by the name of Young Prince. Is Young Prince ready? Welcome on stage, Young Prince.
Good night, everybody. How you feeling? I want you to sing this to me before I start. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Carrying on the legacy of Bradshaw. We shall not be moved. Sing it. Say we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Carrying on the legacy of Bradshaw. We shall not be moved. Play the track. When I am down, I know my soul so weary. When troubles comes and my heart burden be. No, I am still waiting here in silence until you come and stay a while with me. Labor is us up to walk on stormy seas. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. And I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You know, I grew up in a time where we had no roads. And I remember my mother always telling me how they're telling us they're going to put us in a pen and feed us grass. And people wonder why I want to vote for Labour. That is why I'm voting for Labour. You raise me up so I can stand stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. No, we ain't finished yet, eh? Now we're gonna hype it up now tonight. Alright? No, I brought somebody with me, my brother with me. Because we're gonna have a party tonight. Because labor is sweet and labor is good. Alright? And if you want to dance, just dance. The same thing, alright? Welcome my bro, Kid J. If you love labor, put your hands up. Make some noise for labor. Oh!
Labour massive. Put your hands together for young talent, young prince. Talent galore from Sandy Point. Newton Grong. Number 5, you see, I don't get confused. It's Sandy Point and Newton Grong. I got to get a custom. How you feeling? You ready? You ready? You ready to end the concoction? You ready and ready? Well, back. Labour is ready. And tomorrow in constituencies number 7 and number 8, we compiling for a whistle stop starting at 1 o'clock. Where we starting? Starting in Keyon, 1 o'clock. Going over to Mansion. So be there. And then 6:30 tomorrow, the gospel session on the shoreline featuring local and foreign acts. Don't miss it. Followed by the grand official launch of the 2015 campaign. So the shoreline is the place to be tomorrow. Shoreline is the place to be tomorrow. Don't miss it. Get your paraphernalia. Visit the constituency offices. Get your shirts, your hats, your whistles, everything for Labour. Because we're winning this one big. We're winning this one big. All right. We're gonna arrange that. We're gonna arrange that. And on Sunday, we have a church service in each constituency. And then a big, massive whistle stop. 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Starting from Port Zante. Heading east. And culminating in Green Tree, Old Road. You can't miss it. Heading west? No, I think it's east. East, man. So you're going just from Port Zante to Old Road? Say east, man. We'll figure that one out. We got whistle stop tomorrow, 1 o'clock, and it's starting down at Port Zante. Wherever we go, we go. Wherever we go, we go. We large and in charge. We go wherever we want to go. So wherever the Douglas lead us, we will follow. Wherever the boss say must go, we will go. Because we understand that we have one leader. Not a lot of people trying to be leader. Not a lot of deputy trying to be leader. We have one true leader. And that's the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. The best Prime Minister in the Caribbean and the world. We will read about him in history books. Our children and grandchildren will learn about him. Now we're going to the Royal Lady in number 2. Put your hands together and welcome, comrades, Honorable Marcella Leibard.
Natural beauty, no, I never been someone shy until I seen you right.
Comrades and friends of Labour, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Me too. Anytime around Labour people is one big love affair. We feel good. Labour women, where you be? Let me hear you, Labour women. Yeah, the women carrying the battle. The women carrying the battle. I bring you greetings from the center of everything. Central Bastille. Central Bastille, where you be? Central, where are you? Thank you. Good night. I want to let Petronella Merritt, who is in the hospital, know that she's in our prayers. Ike has a way of saying that democracy begins and ends with the people. And he was never more right. Democracy begins and ends with the people. Democracy is not in the courts. Democracy begins and ends with the people. And so elections are won in the hearts and souls of the people. So Labour will win the next elections because Labour is in the hearts and souls of the people. And so we leave all those who believe that the court could help them. The court cannot help them. We leave them there. But I don't want you to go around spreading their propaganda for them. Because their election campaign from beginning is based on deception. It is based on deception and it has not changed. I could tell you, when this motion on the confidence thing came up, Timothy and Sam were asked if they knew anything about it, and both of them said they didn't know about it. They didn't even hear about it, even after it was launched. They didn't even hear about it. But Timothy could now swear in an affidavit that long time hearing it with Mark Brantley then. A lot of deception is out there, and that is why you can't trust them. I'm sure you heard some tapes being played tonight, and some on EK's program. You can't believe some of the things you hear these people were saying some time ago. And so the question that EK asks, and Connery's keep asking is, which one of them you must believe? Which one of them is the real one? What I say now or what I was saying before? Which one we must believe? Well, I tell you something. The one thing you have to believe is that you can't trust them. That's for sure. You can't trust them. And you can't vote for people who you don't trust. How you going to vote for people you don't trust? And so I just want to clear up certain things with you so that you will know the truth and know what the real position is. And the truth is that the Governor General signed a proclamation on January 16, which brought new boundaries into this country. The proclamation signed by the Governor General on the 16th of January introduced new realigned boundaries in St. Kitts and Nevis. The Court of Appeal to this date has not done or said anything to change that. So right now, those boundaries still stand. The only boundaries that stand right now are those new boundaries. What the court is saying is that they want to hear their case, and so nothing must be done with respect to those boundaries until the case is heard on the 9th of February. But as far as boundaries are concerned, so you hear some of them saying, well, come nomination day, they can have nomination on the old boundaries. What are old boundaries? We only have boundaries, and the only boundaries that exist right now are the new boundaries. So you can have nomination on old boundaries. Foolishness. So don't let anybody fool you or deceive you. They only got one set of boundaries, and those are the new boundaries. And the court has said it will hear their appeal on the 9th. Until such time, don't do anything further with the boundaries. But the proclamation still stands, and the only boundaries are the new boundaries. So please, don't carry around the propaganda for them, because this is what we call the silly season, just before an election. This is the silly season, and so you're going to hear all kind of things. But Labour people must stand firm in their beliefs, because what we bring you here is the truth. So you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. I had a joke, because Sam Kondo, in trying his best to sell Janel Powell, who can be sold. So he's trying his best to sell him. Sam Kondo's best joke now is that Janel Powell is connected to Labour because Janel Powell is related to Thomas Manchester. And Thomas Manchester is some Labour man from a long time. What the big joke that is. That is the biggest joke and the biggest bluff I ever hear. Even if Janel Powell is related to Thomas Manchester, he is even closer to Billy Herbert. So why is Sam Kondo not telling people that? He is even closer to Billy Herbert. Why he trying to connect Janel Powell with Labour? Why not with Billy Herbert, who was part of the attempted overthrow of Bradshaw and Labour? And Sam Kondo knows that. Sam Kondo knows that in 1967, Billy Herbert was one of the people who were involved in the attempted overthrow of Bradshaw and Labour at the time. So why is he trying to make any connection with Labour? These people are really for the birds. Really for the birds. Boy, but the boss got a real problem with me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk first, so I don't get disturbed every time the boss only choose to come when I'm talking. But I love him still. Boss, I love you still. So I was saying to you, don't let them make no connection with Thomas Manchester and Labour. All of a sudden they just find that out. You know how long ago Thomas Manchester was around? All of a sudden, Sam Kondo say that Janel Powell is a family of Thomas Manchester. Sam Kondo forget that he's a family of Billy Herbert, even closer family of Billy Herbert. So I don't understand what is his problem. Why he trying to make that connection? It's just laughable and a big joke. Right here in Sandy Point, you're supposed to have the so-called leader of PAM. The so-called leader of PAM is supposed to come out of Sandy Point. And leadership will be one of the issues in this campaign. Because when you choose a government, you have to choose the party who you think can best lead the country for the next 5 years. So leadership is an issue. And to tell you the truth, when you look at who is offering themselves on the other side, and you look at this Labour team of here, my mother used to say, comparisons are odious. Actually, there's no choice at all. You only have to look at what's happening in the country. You would see that that St. Kitts-Nevis is the envy of the Caribbean. St. Kitts-Nevis is the most progressive country in the Caribbean. St. Kitts-Nevis is first in almost everything. It is because of the leadership of the country why that is so. It is because of the leadership, and you must not take that for granted. You must go out there and let people know that it is the leadership in the country that is responsible for the high economic growth, is responsible for renewable energy, is responsible for all of the first in manufacturing and in all the other areas in which St. Kitts-Nevis is first. Tourism and health and education, almost every area we are leading. People are coming to us to find out how you do it. People are coming to us. So if you're looking for leadership of the country for the next 5 years, the choice is obviously Labour. Only Labour is bringing real progress and real change to the people of St. Kitts-Nevis. Only Labour is doing that. So you don't have to look too far. But look at what is happening on the other side. Sean Richards said he's the leader of PAM. They said PAM celebrating 50 years. I thought it's a funeral they're having. I never seen a 50 year. 50 years is supposed to be a big thing. I never seen a 50-year celebration so dry and dead. That is because the leader has led PAM to its lowest ebb. Imagine they are 50 years and they have some party called Plup, just over 1 year old, leading them. They said they launched a candidate in number 6 the other night. After the house done dissolved, they launching candidate. They said they launched a candidate in 6. So I was saying, well, at last, Plup gonna get one more member in the party. When I looked, they said, no, it's a PAM he be. So Plup still on 2. They move off of 2 for more than the last year. They're still on 2. Nobody joining this Plup, but they're in charge of PAM, who are around for 50 years. What kind of leadership is that? So if the leader of PAM is supposed to be Sean Richards, the candidate for Sandy Point, and PAM is going down the drain like that, why Sandy Point people want him to lead them? He will only lead you the same way, down the drain. You have a young doctor who is bringing Destination Sandy Point to you. Put your hands together for Norgen Wilson. You have a doctor who is bringing a plan for Sandy Point for the future. What is Sean offering? Well, you only have to look to see where Pam is, and you know what Sean offering. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. He's been the representative for the last 10 years. What has Sandy Point got to show for it? What has Sandy Point got to show for it? And so I want to encourage the people of number 5, whenever the elections are called, to go out and vote for your future. Vote for your children's future. Vote for Norgen Wilson, who will bring you Destination Sandy Point and bring back businesses and life to the people of Sandy Point. That is what leadership is all about. And this election is about leadership. In Central Bastille, we are just spreading love to service. Throughout the constituency, we are spreading love to service. And so we invite all the people of Central Bastille to join the love campaign. And the love month is coming up February. And so we're right in the middle of the love season. And so we're inviting everybody in Central Bastille to join the love campaign. For in Central Bastille, we watch no face. We believe that politics knows no need. So we don't look to see what color shirt. Well, right now the shirt them look like it's only red or see. But we don't look to see what color shirt or who you back or who your people be. If you're in need, we're helping you in Central Bastille. Because we're spreading love to service. And look at what we've done. How many of you have been to the New Road Family Park? If you haven't been there yet, please go there. That is the new thing in the country, really. You go up there, your heart becomes full. It is full of children. It is full of groups exercising. It is full of parents. It is filled with elderly people sitting on the benches, taking in what is a fantastic view. So if you haven't been there yet, try and go. It is an experience that you cannot miss. Only vision could have brought that about. And so we have a family park because we intend to make families stronger. Because we believe that with stronger families come safer communities and a stronger nation. Because our nation is built on families. And so we have to strengthen our families. The New Road Family Park was designed to do that and is in fact doing that. I go up there, groups exercising, parents sitting down on the benches doing homework with their children, children playing while parents exercising, elderly people taking in the view. What a wonderful idea that has come to fruition in the New Road Family Park. The other day when I went up there, the residents told me that for the morning period up there filled with the people who come off the boats. The people who come off the boats, that's a stop now. You go up there and they're there with their children at the New Road Family Park, taking pictures, taking in the view up there. So what we'll be doing going forward, we'll be setting up some booths up there so that some people can have some businesses up there at the New Road Family Park with a view towards also having something, craft that you can sell to these tourists while they're up there taking in the view and taking in the park. We'll also be doing the parking lot up there. So we're not finished yet and we still have some more beautification to do. And the park has everything, because the lights are LED lights. Come on, automatically. Which part of our renewable energy process as we move towards becoming the first small island sustainable states. And so everything is at the New Road Family Park. We've also renovated Dorset Park, which we turned into a little kid zone as well that is being highly used. The people in the preschools around the area that tired thank me for it. People even want to hire it to keep children's parties for the children. That is where we are. We'll soon be erecting the fiberglass backboards and snap rings at Dorset Park and at the Gardens playing field for the young people and those who play basketball. Because that is what we're about. We're ensuring that our young people can become involved in wholesome activity as we try to ensure that they stay on the straight and narrow path. We'll also be launching Central Orchestra. Have our young people who are interested in music. We want to have a different type of music. We have a lot of small acts and new vibes and collision band and so on. We love all of them, but we want some variety in the music. And so we'll be launching Central Orchestra. And we have a young man already who have identified to lead that charge. We have a few instruments already, but next month we'll get some violins and some other instruments that a gentleman from the States promised to us, and they're on their way. Next month they'll be delivered, and so we will launch Central Orchestra so that we can get our children involved in music and in wholesome activity. I want to tell you that we intend to have a cultural renaissance in Central Bastille. Central Bastille, as you know, is made up of communities. And so we will bring back Mac Night Festival in a different and stronger way. We will launch PAN back in Central Bastille. As I said before, Central Bastille was PAN City. I was told when you read the history, you would see that in Mac Night proper, a lot of the PAN people came out of Mac Night. Well, we want to reintroduce PAN in Central Bastille. And so we will launch PAN in Central Bastille, and we will take on constituency number 3 and any other constituency who think they ban. Because we will be launching PAN in Central Bastille. As part of our thrust going forward, we also will be trying to instruct our young people with respect to the history of the various areas. And so we want to have murals done that reflect the history, because we have good artists in the area who can put up beautiful murals, but it must just be any old thing on the walls. We want to see the history of the area reflected in these murals, and we will do that. And another program we want to launch in Central is something called Progressive Young Women. As the only female candidate, we have to make that the women's agenda is being carried forward. And I speak to many young women who need assistance. And so we are launching Progressive Young Women, where we target young women and young mothers, and we will teach them social graces. We'll teach them interview skills so that when they go out for job interviews, they'll be better able to get those jobs. We'll also be having educational classes to help them to get more subjects. Those who have none, you'll get 1 or 2 as we go along. We want to start with classes in maths and English and computer. We want to help the young women of Central Bastille to become more marketable, make themselves more marketable, more respectable, and to have far more self-confidence. We'll also be helping the young parents with parenting, giving them some tips on parenting. And so we expect to launch Progressive Young Women as a way to try to reach out to the young women of Central Bastille. And so you'd see that as we go forward, we intend to continue to spread love through service to our children, to our women, to our men, to our elderly. That is why we say, come next election, vote for real progress, real change, real progress and real change that could only come from Labour. Labour is the only party that has brought you and will continue to bring you real progress and real change. So, people of Sandy Point, this is your time. This is your time. Think of Destination Sandy Point and the future of Sandy Point and your children. And when the time comes, vote for real progress and real change here in Sandy Point. Real progress and real change. And so I want to tell you to continue to stay strong, continue to stay firm, continue to be the foot soldiers for Labour. Stay on the streets, run them off the streets. You stay on the streets because your cause is just. Sleep with one eye open, be vigilant, know what's going on in your communities and report to your leaders, and we will take the necessary action. So again, rally with Labour, stick with Labour. Good night, one love, love you.
Voting for Labour. Put your hands together for Comrade Honorable Marcella Liebard. Has a clear vision for constituency number 2. And she will win big. She will win every single box. Every box again.
Sorry, I forgot one thing. I was just reminded we open our new constituency office tomorrow from 1 o'clock. This is in the building on the other side of the Wesleyan Holiness Church on Keon Street. Drinks will be sold. We have a bar in the yard. We'll have music from 1 o'clock. Drinks will be sold at $2 and you get the food free. So you come. We have the official opening at 3 o'clock. So come, have some fun, mix with the comrades tomorrow from 1 o'clock as we open our new constituency office. Thank you.
So that's number 2, opening their brand new constituency office there on Keon Street, opposite Wesleyan Holiness Church. And over in constituency number 7, starting in Keon, you have a whistle stop going all the way over to Mansion or Tabernacle, wherever it's going to stop. That's at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And at 6:30 p.m. at the shoreline is the gospel concert. And at 8 o'clock, it's the official launch of the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party and NRP campaign. You can't miss it. And on Sunday, 1 o'clock, the big whistle stop, starting at Port Zante and going east around the country, ending in Green Tree Old Road. And then at 6:30 in the evening, gospel concert and public rally at Green Tree. What a weekend we have coming up. A Labour weekend. And right here now, we're going to invite a young lady, Vanicia Wyatt, to bring a poem for us this evening. Welcome, Comrade Wyatt.
Good night, comrades. You ready? I can't hear you. You ready? Well, me ready too. A good man is hard to find. But in number 5, we have one of a kind. Dr. Norgen Wilson. A good man, a caring man, a humble man. Do you understand the difficulty of finding such a man? Works faithfully, always giving to the community his time, his energy, even though he does not get a community salary. Dr. Norgen Wilson spread out, Newton ground, communalist with we, you see? It is nothing new, as so it used to be. Dr. Norgen Wilson bring new roads to Bouncing Hill. No longer we bouncing over the hill, but we walking in high heel, stilettos and ting. Not talk about with tennis court up Kerville Hill. Dr. Wilson, I consider young people health and wealth. I was once queen in 2013, but under Dr. Norgen Wilson and my Labour Party, a Serena maybe. Constituency number 5 is ready for Destination Labour Party to rise with our visionary, dynamic, springtime candidate, Dr. Norgen Wilson. I thank you.
Put your hands together for Comrade Wyatt. Very good, very good. One thing about Labour is we have everybody. We have young, old, and in between. We have everybody because this country is a big piece of Labour and NRP, a small piece of PAM and everybody else. A big piece of Labour and NRP, a small piece of PAM and everybody else. We're going to invite one more young group on stage for a musical performance. Welcome, DC.
Labour Massive! Labour Massive, me not here, no! Don't go on like you don't know me a SP me from! Big up all me SP Massive, them say hop, hop, hop! Yes, I big up the whole of the Labour entourage, big up Norgen Wilson, the big boss, you don't know, sir. Me don't remember your name. You don't know everything. Yeah, man. Big respect to everybody, you don't know, blessed love. Well, yeah, I would love everybody to walk with me tonight. If you love Labour, say yeah, yeah. Love you. This one that they could have never lived so. Because what? Labour deal with love and respect. Let me hear you say it. Labour could have never lived so. I want to hear you say it. Hey, I see people live to hate. Labour could have never lived so. And all they want to do is take. Labour could have never lived so. Every day the wicked in them display. could I never live so. Yeah, load the music for I and I. What me say? Every man me wake me ask the Father in a prayer to vanquish all the hatred and the evil in the air, cause Labour never live like that. Never want to step in at them shoes or in them track. When me sight them, yes, me see it in their eyes. You the want to fight or you the never want to rise, lad. And you will live to deal with that. Cause a large and bad mind could have never stop. Said I see people. Let me hear you. Labour could have never lived so. And all they want to do is stay Labour. Me want hear you every day the wicked in them display. Kawa, Norgen can't live like them people there. Them never listen when me say, Jah, you are my ammunition and my mission to burn all corrupted ambition. Oh, no, listen, here's my mission. Destinations on the point. For sure you see you're this. Hey, say we will never fall. All our tyrants against we shall fail. So definitely cause I trust the Almighty still walking right beside me. So yo, Labour me say, I see people live to hate Labour. And all they want to do. Yeah, man, I feel nice, you know, don't want long still. I just representing me town, me parish, SP. You don't know, say number 5. Let me hear you again. Hop, 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 hop. Say Labour we love. There we go. Said, I see people live to hate. Yeah, man, blessed love, you know. I just want to say respect to everybody for coming out, supporting the thing. Big up Labour massive again, you know. Respect, one and all, one love. Boo! Hey, yo, I just got to big up SMI and Chevrolet, you don't know, sir. Entourage.
Yeah. Comrades, put your hands together for DC. Put your hands together for DC. And we're gonna ask a popular group, SMI, featuring Chev Rich, to come onto the stage and perform for us. Put your hands together for SMI featuring Chev Rich.
Hold up, rascal. Labour Massive, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Massive, good night. SP. Good night.
Watch here. That's just all one show. Yeah, right, that's just all one show. Make some noise for your representative. Sunny Point Massive, let me hear you. Hop, 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 hop.
Hop, 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 hop.
Y'all see that? Dr. Norgen Wilson, let's go forward. When I say Wilson, y'all say forward. Wilson,
Forward.
Wilson,
Forward.
when I say Wilson, y'all say forward. Wilson,
Forward.
Wilson.
Forward.
Yo, drop that track for us one time. Hit it from the top again, rascal. Hit it from the top one more time. Let's go.
Victory is in the air. Labour people everywhere. We're addicted to the thrill.
You ready?
It's a Labour love affair. Don't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem? Tell me now.
Yeah.
The only thing that's on my mind. Who will run this town tonight?
Doc Wilson.
Wilson, I run this
Put your
town
hands
tonight.
up. Labour Massive. Yeah.
Labour go run this town.
We are, yes, said it. We are. Big up
Wilson and Team Labour. Real representative, so we moving forward. Real progress, real change, straight to the future. What I want, roll my bum, now just say simmer down. What I want, roll my bum, now just say simmer down. I said what I want, roll my bum, now just say simmer down. Make some noise. Hit it again, rascal. Kim, I want to hear you, baby girl. Coming in the air.
People everywhere. We're addicted to the thrill. It's a labor love affair. Don't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem, tell me now.
When the beat drop, put your hands up with your voting finger. Let's go. Doc Wilson. Let's go. Doc Wilson. Yeah, I said we are. Big up Doc Wilson and Team Labour. Real change, here for the future. Dollar sign freestyle, I don't care, drive the freaks well. What I want, run my bum, now just say simmer down. Simmer down. What I want, run my bum, now just say simmer down. Simmer down. Norgen is the man with the plan. My sunny point people, I hope you understand. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let's go. Wave. 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 Yeah.
It's not fair. They break the rules, but we don't care. We be doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Walking tall against the rain. Victories within the mind.
Yeah.
Almost there, don't give up now. The only thing that's on my mind.
Get your finger up. Let's go. Doc Wilson.
Wilson, I run this town tonight.
Doc Wilson.
Labour go run this town.
Yeah, make some noise for Doc Wilson, everybody. Norgen, your last Sunny boy, let me hear you. Hop. Big up destination, Sunny Point. Let's make some noise for Labour one time. I want y'all to hear me real good. Hear me real good on this one.
Labour run this town.
Look, tell Palmer want me cartel money. 5 years now, they owe me. Y'all have a good night. SMI, Chef Rich, King Nation, Sunny Boy, we love you. Labour massive to the world. Bro.
We are gonna run this town tonight. We are gonna run this town tonight. We are gonna run this town.
We gonna run this town tonight. Hey, that's ghost, you know. Let me go now, man. Hey, say, what you gonna do when you hear something? Or what you gonna do when Labour are run things? What you gonna do when we gonna run things? Real progress, real change in the tongue tonight. Destinations and the point is that the thing to buy. While what they say some doing Sandy Point tongue, all they offering is rum and Comrades! You want me to go some more? I got me boy goes on the microphone. Come down, let me do something for the crowd. We jumping on all the saying and the operating and the song. Labour massive! Labour got talent, can done. Anything you want us to do, we could do. And we could do it better than anybody else. Put your hands together for SMI and Chevrich. And put your hands together for King Conris and the Ghost. Labour are going to run this tongue tonight. We're going to ask Saskia Evans to come now and introduce the man of the moment, Dr. Norgen Wilson. Welcome on stage, Comrade Evans.
Good night, comrades. I am here tonight for two simple reasons. I believe in Dr. Norgen Wilson. And I want better, much better, of a representative of constituency number 5 and for all my fellow residents in the constituency. And I know that the man who will deliver is Dr. Norgen Wilson. We have to go forward, comrades. His commitment to serve in St. Kitts and constituency number 5, no one can deny. But you may not know that he gave up not one, but 2 scholarships to undertake specialization in the medical field and has refused lucrative contracts to work overseas because his life mission is to make constituency number 5 and St. Kitts better. This passion and love for his people is evident in the many he has assisted and the programs he has brought to constituency number 5. But I am especially here because of the vision of the future for real progress and real change Dr. Wilson has brought to constituency number 5. This will take us forward. He is not about talk. He is a man of action. Dr. Wilson is the man who led the Reach Out and Touch Art event with Sparta that raised $30,000 for the disabled and shut-ins in this community. $30,000 one time in a totally local project. This is a man not about talk. This is a man of action. And Dr. Wilson is the man who has brought the vision of Destination Sandy Point. A vision to bring tourism, strips, scenic walks, historical tours, marketing local produce and preserves from farms that will transform constituency number 5. Already, we have a new lawn tennis court, lights at the old recreation ground, and work has started on the Cleverly Hill Strip, which will have 20 shops. 20! Destination Sandy Point only just started, and it has captivated and is the envy of all. This is a man of action. We can only move forward with such practical and meaningful vision for the people. I say, let's go forward, comrades. Let's go forward from non-representation and being insulted by a Lima who says he can do nothing. Let's go forward with the man who has demonstrated by action his commitment to serve the people of constituency number 5. Let's go forward, comrades, with Dr. Norgen Wilson. I thank you.
Put your hands together for Comrade Evans and welcome to the podium the man of the night, the man from down here, the man who's offering Destination Sandy Point, soon to be the Honorable Dr. Norgen Wilson. Labour massive roar! Constituency number 5, good night. Newton Ground, good night. Victory, good night. Cleverly Hill, Mount Idle, good night. Comrades, I want to welcome all of you to Sandy Point, to Destination Sandy Point. Comrades, friends, I came to you before. I came to you in the last elections, and we came very close to winning. But close is not good enough. And so I say to you that this constituency, constituency number 5, needs to move forward. It is time then for us to get rid of the useless waste of time in the person of Sean Richards. Useless and waste of time, because month after month he collects his salary. He collects a constituency allowance somewhere to the tune of $500,000 to $750,000 over the last 10 years. But what has he done for the people of constituency number 5? What has he done? He has done nothing here in this constituency. Search your minds. Search your minds, because as far as I can recall, as far as I can see, the only thing I know Sean to be doing is liming around the constituency. Liming in every street he could find and not doing anything productive for the people of constituency number 5. The man does not even have a good idea. He had an opportunity, you heard Marcella say, an opportunity to take Sandy Point to higher heights. What did he do with that opportunity? He allowed himself to be treated like a puppet. He allowed himself to be talked about and dragged by people like Timothy Harris. You see what the problem is? The People's Action Movement, it has owners, and Sean ain't one of them. He's not one of them. And so that is why they have never ever respected him as their leader. Even though he has the name, they have never ever respected him as their leader. Comrades, all I want for the people of constituency number 5 is to bring opportunities for us to develop ourselves. Opportunities for us to move forward. Not wait on the block for your parliamentary representative to go about bringing you a drink. We don't want that. I am into seeing the young men and women of this constituency getting new jobs and moving into new businesses, such as what we are bringing here for Destination Sandy Point. Man and man must decide whether or not they want to own one of the tourist shops up there on the Cleverly Hill Strip. Man and man must decide if they want to own one of the beach bar and grills or the tourist shops that's going to be down at the Ficci Pompey Strip. You must begin to determine whether or not you're interested in being a tour guide here in Sandy Point. Whether it is walking through tours, bicycle tours, ATV tours, horseback tours, whatever it is, because the spin-offs from Destination Sandy Point are going to be immense. There are going to be a lot, and everybody would benefit in this constituency. Comrades, you would have heard many persons who have come here tonight, they would have said to you, it was only but a few months ago that a young group of persons from right here in this constituency came to me and they said, Dr. Norgen, we want
our art to be exposed to the world. And I said to that group, I can help you, but we must do it for the benefit of our community. Everybody must benefit. And so we decided how we will go about doing it. And we came up with a name for that group. A group which is now known as the Sandy Point Art Association, SPARTA. We went over into what is the new St. Kitts Eco Park, just over there in the Sergeles Estate, just before you get into Newton Ground. And over there, on the 2nd day of November, we were able to put on display 40 pieces of art, and 25 pieces of those artwork which were up on display were sold. One man came to me and he said, boy, I walk with $1,600 and couldn't buy a piece. All in all, the auction sold for more than $30,000. And you know what we did with the money? We came back to the community. We found the disabled, and we were able to assist many of these persons. We were able to assist these people. And so I wonder, what is it Mr. Richards is doing or saying when he says he can't do anything for the people? How come he can't come up with a good idea and make a move to bring real assistance to people in this community? We must run him from in front of us with the excuses because he does not fail to collect his salary. The art event was so big for Sandy Point, and the demand has become so great that these young artists that you have here in Sandy Point, they are under pressure. They have to be painting constantly because the demand for their work has now become a great thing. And so they have benefited, but the community of Sandy Point has benefited from their works of art. Comrades, I want to encourage you to continue to support the young Sparta group right here in Sandy Point. Put your hands together for these young artists in Sandy Point. Comrades, when you look at our Poxon Medical Center, Poxon Medical Center has now become the only green hospital in the entire region. Poxon Medical Center is now utilizing renewable energy. And so the government has not neglected to look after this community. We continue to do for Sandy Point. And I want to encourage you to give your support to your good St. Kitts-Nevis Labour government. Comrades, we want not only to develop here in Sandy Point, we want to move over to the Newton Ground area and bring the 0.5 megawatt solar plant, which will contribute to our grid, our national grid, and thus reduce our electricity bills. And so we want to see the projects continued. We also want to see over in the Newton Ground area the playing field developed such that we can have regional and international events in a state-of-the-art facility right over there in Newton Ground. Nothing is too good for the people. Nothing is too good for the common man and woman of this land. And so I want to encourage you to support me. Comrades, you heard Marcella talking about a beautiful park which she would have just opened somewhere up in the New Road area. Well, if you look around Sandy Point, you would see that we have cleaned the land just there between Poxon Hospital and the Hard Court. Well, I want a family park in Sandy Point too, and that is the intention. We are going to put the family park right there. We don't believe the land should go to waste, and so we had that clean just a few weeks ago. Comrades of Labour, people of constituency number 5, I have heard your cry. I have heard the cry of the people over there in Bouncing Hill. When I go up to Bouncing Hill and why telling me she can't take the dust no more. I have heard your cry and I have lobbied such that we can get new roads up there in Bouncing Hill, and already the roads have started. To the people in the Farms Project, I have heard your crying, and I have felt and experienced what you have been experiencing. One day I went up to farms and I got stuck in the mud. And so I have experienced what you, the people, are experiencing. And there was a cry for roads and drainage. And again, we have started with the roads up in the Farms Project. And so you are going to get your roads. We are not going to stop there. The people in Romney Ground, we have heard you as well. The drainage issue is a serious issue there. We have encountered a few obstacles with moving the drain through some person's personal property. But we will forge through and we will work it out, and you will eventually get your drains. Dr. Norgen Wilson has been working on behalf of the people of constituency number 5, and I will not stop. That is why I said to you, we came close, but close is not good enough. I want to be there as your parliamentary representative. I want to be there to come and see you on a regular, not just to sit to the side of the road and drink the rum and drink the Guinness, so that you can say, oh, I don't see you. You don't see me, but what that means, I don't only want you to see me, I want you to feel me too. I want you to feel me. And that is why I said to you, I come again. Give me the opportunity to be your parliamentary representative. I've been over there in Newton Ground, and already the persons in the racecourse area are saying to me they need the electricity poles down in that area such that they can start building the racecourse extension. They want it done. I have heard the cry, and I guarantee the people of Newton Ground that I will be there for them. I will make sure that it happens. Many persons have neglected to say anything about the Love Valley project. Even the parliamentary representative, he doesn't say anything about it. And if he does say anything, it's something negative. Comrades, the Love Valley Greens project is a project with a lot of potential. And I guarantee you that under Dr. Norgen Wilson, we will see that project through fruition. It has to happen because it will provide hundreds of jobs for the people of Sandy Point and Newton Ground alike, and wherever in this country they may be living. Comrades, I say to you, we must move forward from the insults of being offered a drink as if that drink is going to erase our problems. We must move forward from a boy that continuously said to you, he can't do nothing. We must move forward from a boy who does not even go to his job. He does not even go to the parliament to represent the people of constituency number 5. I must say that I was quite disappointed in Mr. Richards, especially on a day they were debating a bill where you would find that you have a lot of young men who may have been imprisoned early in their lives, and they were debating a bill to try and expunge some of these things from their records such that the young men could have or would not suffer difficulties moving forward in their lives. He hangs out with some of these fellows and he never even show up to parliament on their behalf to debate and support that particular bill. What a disappointment. He does not care about the people here in Sandy Point. The problem is that we have had an MP, we have had a boy masquerading as an MP. Comrades, under my leadership, there will be a new constituency 5. One where people will live and work, and one where others will come to visit for sports, for the history, and to have a good time generally. Yes, I want my people to have houses. I want them to have lands. I want them to have roads. But I also want them to be able to pay and maintain themselves with some ease. That is why I come to you to represent you, so that we can find solutions together. Comrades, I say to you, treat the charlatans like what they are. They will do nothing. And when they say anything, they usually say something negative. And these people are people who will try to get power, even if it means that they have to destroy the country. We must move forward from men like those. We must go forward from the likes of men like Lindsey Grant. Lindsey Grant was being caught red-handedly in the Marriotts, trying to sell lands that he ain't own, trying to sell government lands, and he ain't in power yet. We must move forward from the likes of those people. We must move forward from men who have no ideas. We must move from boys who misuse the trust of the people and are no more than just simply delinquents. Comrades, constituency number 5 deserves better. You have heard my comrades here, my colleagues here. They have said much tonight. So many things which I don't have to repeat. But I want to leave you with one thing. A very clear message. Listen to me good. You can give a man a Guinness. You can give a man a handful of money. You can give a man a good lime for a short time, and you may even get his vote for that. But if you can't give that man a chance at real progress, if you can't give that man the assurance of the representation that yields results for him and his family, that he could depend on you to one day change his circumstances for the better, you have given that man nothing. Rather, you have taken from him more than you would ever know, and you have taken him for granted. Let's go forward. Let us move beyond Sean Richards. It is time for constituency number 5 to be developed. You would have heard Destination Sandy Point is the envy of many. But I say to you, it is Destination Sandy Point which will bring back that economic activity which we saw as young people growing up in this community. It is true that we're here in Sandy Point. We are proud. But Sandy Point is dwindling. We need Sandy Point to be revived. We need Sandy Point to be revitalized. And that is why Destination Sandy Point has to succeed. That is why you must become a part of what is Destination Sandy Point. Comrades, you are standing in the historic Downing Street. The historic Downing Street. This is the street where Sean Richards grew up. I grew up in a street just over there. I used to come over here to play. I never see Sean in the street a play yet. He was always in his house. So now I wonder if he's on the street so much because he never used to come out and mingle with people as a child. He would not be able to tell you what is a stump toe. The man never used to come out the house. He wouldn't be able to tell you how to pitch marble. You see how long his fingernail be. He would not be able to tell you how we used to run a wheel through the streets because he never used to come out. He never used to come out. We don't really know Sean Richards. We really don't know him. Comrades, I say to you tonight, this is our great opportunity to make a difference in constituency number 5. I continue to say the constituency has gotten bigger. And in all fairness, we have gotten bigger. And with Newton Ground, we have gotten better. Sandy Point and Newton Ground together, we will take constituency number 5 for Labour. We will take constituency number 5 for you. We deserve to have representation that is effective. We deserve to have representation that is meaningful. We deserve to have a good community once again. We must build back Sandy Point. We must go into Newton Ground and make sure that our solar farm goes forward. We must make sure the people in Newton Ground also have a commercial area. But we must live together as one. We must live together as good people. We deserve better. We deserve better. And I guarantee you, better is Dr. Norgen Wilson. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the tremendous support which you have shown to me here in Sandy Point. I went over into Newton Ground for a few days, and the people greeted me with love. And so I know that Newton Ground is going to come home. I know that with the support I'm getting here in Sandy Point now, I know we are going to bring home Sandy Point. I want us to beat Sean in every single box. I don't want him to get not one. And you know why he ain't get none? And he ain't deserve to get none because he has not been able to do one thing for soul here in Sandy Point. He has not done anything meaningful for the people of Sandy Point. We are fed up of the excuses. Dr. Norgen Wilson is not in Parliament. How come I can approach the young people? How come I can say to them, let us do this together? And how come the young people follow me and we are successful at whatever projects we put our minds to? We are successful at raising funds in a matter of hours. Sean Richards has been the parliamentary representative for 10 years. And I say to you, he collects his salary every single month. And I don't want you to forget that. He collects a salary every single month. Yet he fails to represent the people of constituency number 5. Why should you continue to allow Sean to collect a salary for which he's not working? Why should you continue to pay tax such that Sean could collect a salary and he is not doing anything for you? We must get rid of Sean Richards. TDC got rid of him because he was non-productive. Pam lost him in the back because they don't see him as anything fit for their leadership. And so he's a nothing. He's a nada, according to the Prime Minister. We must move forward. We must forget about Sean Richards. And I will tell you something. You see, I looked at him a few days ago. And you could see that he's very sad. You could see he's disheartened. I almost felt sorry for the fellow. I almost felt sorry for him. But you must do him a favor. Let us take him out of the mess that he's in. All you have to do to take him out of the mess that he's in is go into the polling station and put the X by the hand. And you will free him. You will free him, I beg of you. Please free him from the mess. He's going to wither away. And someone told me that he said to them, in the last parliamentary sitting, somebody tell me he come out and say, he suit them that treat me too bad. And so, I know that he ain't vexed with what's happening now, you know. He ain't vexed at all. He kind of glad it's happening. But he's sad because of the way they have treated him. They have made him a nothing. They have made Sean a nada. And so I ask you to go to the polls on polling day and put the X by the hand. Vote for Labour. Vote for Dr. Norgen Wilson in constituency number 5. Vote for all of your Labour candidates in the various constituencies, because it is only with Labour that St. Kitts and Nevis can remain number 1. We don't want anybody taking us out of a good position. We want to remain number one. And so, number one with Labour. Number one with Labour. Number one with Dr. Norgen Wilson. Constituency number 5 will be returned to Labour, will be returned to the government of this federation, and you will, once and for all, have a good representative. Thank you very much. Good evening. God bless you.
Put it together for Comrade, soon to be Honorable Dr. Norgen Wilson, the brainchild for Destination Sandy Point. Comrades, it is about that time. It is about that time to hear from the boss. It is about that time to hear from the boss. So you know how we bring him on these days. We want the boss. We want the boss. Welcome to the podium, the undisputed best Prime Minister in the whole of the world, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. Welcome the boss.
Stabilize this country. Someone mash up the country. Someone run the place. They say his mama the Talawa. And then the greatest leader. You ready to win this election? You ready to run the place? To see them unity they can't beat me.
Good night, Sandy Point. Good night, number 5. You ready? You ready? The boss is here. The boss is here. Only one man run things. That's me, the boss. Comrades, it's a pleasure to be here once again in Sandy Point Town. Just last night, we were in St. Paul's, constituency number 6. We went there for fortification as we continue to ready ourselves for battle. We went there, the hometown of Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, our first national hero. Tonight we are here in Sandy Point, the very town and the birthplace of Labour under Thomas Manchester. And so we have come to the birthplace of Labour to ensure that we can invigorate our roots and the roots of the Labour Party. Because it was from here that the struggle for freedom, for justice, for social justice in particular, it was from here that those initial principles and philosophy for the freedom of man, especially those who had been downtrodden, it is from here
that in fact arose. And so we've come back to Sandy Point at a critical time in our struggle to ensure that there is fairness and justice once again in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we ask Sandy Point and constituency number 5 to welcome us in a way that you have never welcomed us before. Tonight we are proud to be here, proud to be part of the continued development of Sandy Point Town. We say to you that we have been proud of your sons and daughters, especially those who have served to build our great country, St. Kitts and Nevis. You are, as you have described yourselves, proud and fearless Sandy Pointers. It is because you are fearless and proud, I ask you once again to embrace and support one of your very sons, Dr. Norgen Wilson. Comrades, I salute you, the stalwarts of labor, those who have struggled throughout the years, those who have kept the torch alive here in Sandy Point. Even when we were and are in opposition, Sandy Point has always been a formidable opponent to the People's Action Movement. Tonight we are proud of the stand that you have always taken, and we salute you because of the way you have supported our Labour Party. I remember tonight in particular persons like Joseph Buchanan. Comrade Joseph Buchanan, who served this party, I am sure, in a way that better served his own family. Tonight, we remember him, and we remember stalwarts like him who have gone to the great beyond after they have labored here on earth. Comrades, we thank and we remember the young people of Sandy Point, those who have kept the torch alive, those who are now part of the St. Kitts-Nevis youth movement, calling themselves the Skinny. Let me hear you. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! We cheers for Skinny. Tonight, my dear people, I want in particular to remember Thomas Manchester in a way that he has never been remembered before. Because it was only 3 days ago to 80 years ago that we saw the blossoming and the first sign of the cry for freedom here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It was in Buckley's in 1935, 3 years after the founding of our great party by Thomas Manchester and others, that the people becoming organized for the very first time challenged the status quo. And they were prepared to give of their very lives to ensure that freedom and justice will reign here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so, in the Buckley's riot of 1935, they gave of their very blood to ensure that this freedom and justice that they had been told about by Manchester just 3 years ago, they were able to invigorate themselves and with boldness challenge the status quo. Tonight I say to you, my comrades,
we are yet again in another struggle, and Labour will not back down. Labour will not step aside. Labour will move forward and upward in a way that we've never done it before. I say to you that they are testing our faith. They are testing our resolve. They are testing our strength. But Labour has never, ever backed down from a fight. Never you back down, my comrades. We will fight on until the very victory is won in the name of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Tonight I say to you that we shall move forward. And just as we remember the struggles of our people in 1935, we must make sure that the history of 80 years ago will not be wasted here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tonight I want to say to you, the people of Sandy Point, that we have been very proud of most of your leaders who have represented you inside the parliament of our country and outside of parliament as well. We in particular remember Southwell and Limor, two former premiers who served the interest of the people of Sandy Point in parliament. Tonight we remember as well Mr. Heiliger, who served here as the PAM representative of the people of Sandy Point for several terms. We remember James Buchanan, a Labour leader at a very young age, who came forward and challenged the status quo under the PAM administration. We remember, of course, Jacinth Henry Martin, Her Excellency Jacinth Henry Martin, a woman of courage, a woman of strength, a woman of leadership, a woman who today is leading all Caribbean ambassadors there in Washington, D.C. with pride and with dignity. Let us give her 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Jacinth Henry Martin. We remember, of course, Dr. Bertram Charles. Dr. Charles, who came very close to winning, but never did it. And tonight, we remember Sean Richards, not in a positive way at all, in a very negative way. And so tonight we say to you that Sean has shamed the people of Sandy Point. It is time for Sean to go. It is time for Wilson to emerge. And tonight we make the case for Dr. Wilson to replace Sean Richards in the parliament of our country and providing leadership, focused leadership for the people of Sandy Point. Sean Richards, my dear people, the Honorable Sean Richards, 2 terms ago, you the people of Sandy Point That is what Sean Richards is in Parliament. And comrades, he was more often out of the Parliament than inside the Parliament. Yet he collected his money every single month. And every 3 sessions he come in, marking name and gone out again. Sean Richards has been a failure for the people of Sandy Point and constituency number 5. When I got into Parliament back in 1989, the records of the Parliament are there. The Hansard documents are there. Whenever I stood up as a young man in Parliament, my contributions have gone down into the history pages of our country. Every single contribution I made, it stirred our people, those who supported us and those who were against us. In fact, I remember my very first budget debate. I took on the Prime Minister at age 41 years. I took him on. He spoke for 2 hours. I spoke for 3.5 hours. And after that, they made a whole law to say nobody can speak longer than the Prime Minister on budget day. History, because I had a whole heap of things to say, and me chatting no nonsense, me chatting a whole heap of facts. What has Sean Richards left in the pages of history in our Parliament? Is there one speech that you can point to, that you can say it stirred you? There was an emotion that woke up in you. I want you to be like Sean Richards or a Pamite. Nothing. Nada, nada, nada. Comrades, what is it? Why is it you continue to support him? Sean Richards has been a failure. What has he brought as an idea for the people of Sandy Point to develop this country, this part of the country? Dr. Norgen Wilson has brought you something. A young man, brilliant young man, dedicated to service, anxious to show the people of Sandy Point that he's ready to serve. Ready to serve. He has been working closely with me as my advisor in national security. Norgen Wilson deserves to be promoted. I said to you, the people of Sandy Point, give Norgen the opportunity to represent you in Parliament and serve you on the wider national level. Because he's ready and he's capable. Sean Richards has been such a dismal failure that eventually Pam had to remove him and replace him by his buddy friend Timothy Harris, you know. Sean has caused the dismantling of Pam to the point where his twin friend Tim Harris have to take over from him. Norgen is ready to serve. Norgen is ready to serve. Norgen speaks of the redevelopment of Sandy Point as part of the policy of this government in the development of our country. As a policy, we have said that we want to redevelop our towns. Old Road, Irish Town, New Town, Sandy Point, Dear Bay, and we will create a new town in Keon. Norgen has said, I want to do it under the rubric of Destination Sandy Point for Sandy Point. Already you can see what is unfolding. The Echo Park at the eastern end of Sandy Point. The fortresses that you have at your western end.
We want to make sure that this becomes a tourist destination in a way that we've never seen it before. We are planning to make sure that tourism goes to the next level here in St. Kitts-Nevis, and Sandy Point must not be left out. We want to bring live entertainment in a way that we've never seen it before in this part of the country, and it must take place here in Sandy Point. We are creating the Cleverly Hills Strip. We will also create the Palm Bay Strip. We want to make sure that Sandy Point returns to its days of glory when people would come here for entertainment and all kinds of activities. Sandy Point recreated under Destination Sandy Point by Dr. Norgen Wilson. I say to you, therefore, that as St. Kitts-Nevis plans to take tourism to the next level, Sandy Point must be included. We will have a highway starting just outside of Buckley's. We'll come through our mountainside. From there you will be able to access Old Road and Sandy Point, because it will take you directly into Capistair, that is right down to Kittishan Hill. Comrades, the Whitegate development area will become alive, because you will be able at last to bypass the town of Sandy Point. There's only one main entrance in and out of Sandy Point. That is not good enough. We shall change that. And Dr. Norgen Wilson will be here to assist us in changing that. We will continue to make sure that Sandy Point expands in tourism. We will have so many different tours on horseback, on donkey rides, taking tourists to the various places of interest, going into the ruins of the sugar industry of the past, and allowing our tourists to be exposed to the former glory days of Sandy Point. We want to make sure that sporting facilities will be developed in a way that we've not seen before in modern times. The challenges that we face today with regard to the old recreation ground and the new playing field, their specific purposes would have been corrected, and as a result of that, both entities will become functional for the benefit of the sporting community here in Sandy Point. We shall continue to ensure that the modern facility, that is the Poxon Hospital, continues to be a leading regional hospital, improving with regard to the modern services that are available to the people of Sandy Point and the neighboring surrounding areas. We want to make sure that Sandy Point continues to contribute to the human capital, the human pool, from which we have drawn over the years, to serve in the civil servants, to serve in our various professional capacities, doctors, specialists, lawyers, economists, all kinds of people trained to move Sandy Point and the rest of St. Kitts-Nevis forward. Sandy Point will not be left out. Sandy Point can do better than having Sean Richards. Sandy Point deserves better. Sandy Point deserves Dr. Norgen Wilson, and Wilson deserves the support of proud Sandy Pointers to move our great city and town forward. Comrades, as we move forward in our campaign. Again, I want to emphasize that Pam will not win the elections. It is pointless for you who supported Sean in the past to continue to support Sean, because Pam will not win the next elections. The elections are being determined as I speak. The elections are going to be held on new boundaries, fair boundaries, the only boundaries that exist presently. Sean and Pam are hoping that the elections will be held on all boundaries. But even if they were to hope with hope, they will be defeated, because Labour is ready to serve the interests of the people for another 5 years. I said to you, my dear people, Labour is going to win. Don't vote. Don't waste your vote. It is time for you to appreciate. This is the time to cross over. Cross over to Labour. Cross over to Wilson. Leave Sean behind. Leave Pam behind. They are losers. They will not win. The people will support the St. Kitts-Nevis Labour Party. Labour will be returned to a massive victory, one that we have not seen in the past. Labour continues to be on the move. I say to you, my dear people, never you rest. Never you rest until that final battle cry. When on the night, the final night of the election campaign, you would have been told that just in a moment of hours, just in a few hours' time, Labour will be returned to its majestic, this 5th consecutive term. Labour would have made history as Manchester made history here for the people of St. Kitts. And Norgen Wilson would have made history as he walks with us into our parliament. We can say, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, Sandy Point is free at last. God bless you and thank you.